My system administrator has set up a series of views for me to help me with my accounts payable workflow. So I'm going to go through first and approve an invoice and then go enter it, and I can move it along in the process by changing the status and recording these approval activities. First off, I need to select my workflow AP approval or review queue. This is the list of invoices I might want to review, then approve, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to open up that set of folders. I'm going to open up for that supplier. I'm going to select a particular invoice, and I can see the invoice displayed on my screen. I can also see those documents that someone has attached or linked to those, so that I've got supporting information like maybe the purchase order and receiving documentation and so on and so forth. Now, when I go back to the main document here, my invoice, if I want to approve this thing, all I need to do is add a new activity, click Add It. I'm going to select from the status pull down here. This is a user-defined list of statuses. I'm going to say this thing is approved, and I'm going to save it. And I can see that that status is on my list. I can add additional note there if I wish. I don't need to, but that's what I'm going to do. So now if I refresh my view and look at this again, I can see that supplier is no longer on my list of things where approval is required. And the reason is because the status has changed and the criteria for this particular view isn't satisfied, showing me things that are pending. So he's gone somewhere else. The next person in line is the person who might go through and look for those that are approved so that they can enter them into their ERP system. So I've chosen a different view here whose criteria says show me all the supplier invoices that are approved. And when I open this folder up and I look, I see only a couple of things on my list here. Here is my invoice that I had just approved a moment ago. I can go to my ERP system. I can enter the information there that's necessary to enter this invoice as I would normally do. And then when I'm all done with that, I can say this thing is complete. I'm going to add a new activity here and change the status to complete. Save it. And now when I refresh my view and go back and look at this particular supplier, that invoice -12 is no longer on my list because it's done. Pretty simple. One more quick note, at any time that you wish, you can also look at the detail and the keywords here and see down at the bottom the last status. That's the most current based on the date that an activity was added. Now if we back up a little bit, this requires the latest version of Dash DDX. It requires setting up a list of status codes as a drop-down list. That's something your system administrator can do. Your system administrator will associate that list with a particular document type, and then your system administrator can create one or a series of DDX views that will show you the things in statuses as necessary, like I've shown you here. Take advantage of this new feature by downloading the latest version of Dash DDX and installing it, and have your system administrator configure a few of these things, and you're off and running. Thanks much.